Hi there, my name is Mona Loy, Blackbright News, aka Dark Shades. Today's video is about how important is it to keep your word. People seem to think that it's a matter of life and death, and it's only the lies that really put you in trouble that makes a difference in relationships. But it's not. It's the simple things. It could be something like, I'm going to call you back later. It could be, I'm going to come up and see you, and you don't come up. And like with the call you back later, you don't call. It could be that I'm going to be there at 9 o'clock. It could be that you say, I've stopped smoking. I used to smoke, but I don't smoke anymore. It could be that I'm single when you've got a girlfriend. It could be that, I haven't seen anybody for months when it could be just a week ago that you last saw someone. These little lies, they affect how someone trusts you. And something as simple as, I'll call you back. Even though it doesn't mean anything in a man's head, it's just, oh, well, I'll call her back. I didn't say I'm going to call her back later. As long as I call her back, it doesn't matter. But in a girl's head or in a female's head, calling you back and then not doing it is telling her that, oh, when he says he's going to do something, he's not going to do it. That's how it translates. It leads to a lack of integrity. It ends up meaning that female cannot trust what you're going to do or what you're going to say. Now, I get people saying, I'm going to call you back all the time. In my line of business as a DJ and as a radio presenter and stuff like that, I get people saying they're going to call me back. And when they don't realise that they are putting you on hold momentarily for that time. Yes, you could say, oh, you can get on with what you're doing. But when you plan your day or when you plan your thoughts around a particular appointment and you really want to give that person your dedicated time and they don't call in that time frame that they've allotted, it's very, very frustrating. So it's not just the small stuff that you can think, oh, well, it doesn't really matter, because it translates into a bigger opinion about someone. You have people saying, I love you, and they use it so frivolously, because if you love someone, you're going to love them through thick and thin. It doesn't mean that when they upset you, you decide to stop loving them. You might be a little peeved at them, but it doesn't mean that you stop loving them. Because loving is patience, it's endurance, it's tolerance. It's not an easy thing to say. So when people say, I love you, they're dealing with the emotion at that time. They're not dealing with the logic and the commitment that love entails. So that's a bigger scale of a lie when somebody says, I love you, and then they don't act it out in the long run. But, we cannot undermine the little stuff, the little lies that can stop someone from trusting you. So when you let your word be your bond, whatever you say, mean it. If you say you're going to meet somebody at 8 o'clock, meet them at 8 o'clock. If you're running a bit late, call them and say, look, I'm ever so sorry, I'm running a bit late, but I'll be there in 5 or 10 minutes. Don't make up a whole lot of lies about why you're late. You might have left the house late. It doesn't matter. Don't concoct lies. Don't volunteer lies. Some people volunteer lies. Nobody's asking them any questions, and yet they're volunteering lies. Oh, I haven't got any kids, or I've got one child, and you find out they've got 2 or 3. It's no point. Oh, I own this car. In fact, they don't. It's their friend's car. People volunteer lies. No one's asking. No one's interested. You know what I mean? Oh, this watch cost £100. when they got it for £10 down the road. Who cares? You know what I mean? What we care about as women is that your word is your bond. And when a lot of these women call men liars, it's because the men don't understand the emphasis that females put on your word. They really want to believe you, but when you don't speak the truth on the small things, it makes them disbelieve you on the large things. So, like I said, if you say you're going to call back, even if it's for just 3 minutes or a minute, even if it's just to say, look, I intended to call you back, but something's cropped up. I'll speak to you when I can. Or say, I'll talk to you soon. You don't even have to give a date. You don't even have to give a time. You don't have to say, I'm going to call you back later. You can just say, I'll call you soon. Soon is relative. It can mean any time. So all I'm saying is that, guys in particular, be a man of your word. Help women to trust you. And that's all I've got to say. That's all for now. I'm off to work. Bye.